I'm Trish Toby with WARC reporting to you live from Westchester, New York, where there appears to be some sort of mutant menace on the loose.
Hey, everybody, I'm Pat Reber.
And I'm Matt Aucamp.
And say it with us, Pete.
Welcome
to
Mutant
Menace.
Nailed it.
Fire. Matt, what's up, dude?
Nothing too much, man. I'm just chilling. It is early. I'm drinking some coffee. I ran out of creamer, so I had to go ahead and use...
Oh, Matt, I would love to hear about your coffee, but it is time to kick things off here with Pat's Email Corner. We got a fair number of emails today. First of all, 2 from our friend Simon from Hell, who has completed not only the Anoli drawing that you requested, Matt, but also has started work on our Brew and Dupe duo buddy comic that we're writing.
Oh man, what if? Oh man, what if? What if this? Oh man,
this really is terrific. I have to say, like, you have talked about this for at least a decade, Matt. Like, walking around just talking about what you would do with the X-Men if you could, and to finally see this image of Brew and Dupe in action together, it's.
Yeah, I mean, it was ever since I read Jason Aaron's Wolverine and the X-Men, and I'm a big Ecstatics fan. I was like, these characters are both are so good, both underutilized, both like super fun, like good in the same way. They need their own little mini comic and or like mini series. And back then, I tweeted. It was 10 years ago. Not so many people were on Twitter, and I tweeted at Marvel.
Okay to tweet.
I tweeted at Marvel and they didn't nothing.
Well, try again. Maybe this time on Blue Sky. We've also got, guess what, Matt? 2 emails from Mikey Two Mails.
Hey, Mikey Two Mails. All right. Yeah, he's back to Mikey Two Mails.
First off, he says, "Hi, Pat. Tell Matt that there's something beautiful about cross-species falling in love." Dr. Chuck Tingle writes a whole plethora of books about it, including Bigfoot Pirates Haunt My Balls. My dungeon master is a T-Rex rules lawyer, but fortunately I rolled a crit on the pound my butt cheek. And my librarian is a beautiful lesbian ice cream cone, and she tastes amazing. Mainly wanted to hear Pat read these titles out loud. Love is real, Matt, and I think you're both swell. Love you both, Mikey Two Mails.
I'm gonna stick by it. I don't think different species should make love.
That's email number 1 that he titled non-X-Men email. Email number 2 is our X-Men email. He says, "Hi Pat, tell Matt I said that the rules of Cerebro is so inconsistent. Seems like though Professor X is very smart, he is not a great engineer."
Huh? Yeah. Okay. Like because engineering's about solving problems. Or is he the most brilliant engineer because he's created a machine that doesn't even seem to follow rules? It solves any problem that you need it to solve.
Yeah,
at that
it's
moment.
Almost thinking, and he just can't quite understand the level that it's thinking at.
Right. And so he just keeps saying stuff that he does. Like, he's like, "Oh, Cerebro just discovered a new mutant who's about just learned their powers," and he's just guessing. Because Cerebro decides when Cerebro goes off.
Exactly, yeah. Which happens to be when something plot relevant will happen.
And if somebody on Earth could engineer a machine that can develop plots in real life, like can set you on a story.
Yeah. You could even argue that it's not precognition as much as it is like looking at the millions of possible realities from every decision and being a complex enough computer to compress that and say, hey, this has a very high percentage chance of telling an interesting story.
The majority of probabilities here are interesting. Go check out this mutant.
Yeah. And it has no concern for their lives.
You exactly.
One of you may die. It will be very good for this story. We also have a new emailer today, Matt. Listener Gregor says, hello, Gregor from Scotland.
Whoa, hey, Gregor.
Tell Matt I discovered this podcast because I'm a big fan of Save Your Game.
Oh,
that
cool.
is for you, Matt. I got to this podcast late, so I am binging through to catch up. Have just finished episode 26, the first 10 issues of Champions, and it's the second time there's been no Pat Steele and deals and steals. Maybe in the future, if the ads have been erased from existence, you could go back to previous issues and read an ad that didn't quite make it the first time. Just a suggestion because I love hearing these old unhinged ads. Love the pod, Gregor.
Aw, that's sweet. They love... All right, so first of all, they love me because they listen to Save Your Game and then this.
Yeah.
No, they just love my taste in co-hosts, I think. I think that's literally my my success is just attaching myself to smarter, more charming, and funny people than me. But thank you for coming over, Gregor.
Yeah.
Number 2, Pat Steals and Deals.
What an interesting thing to bring up, right? Like, we have had in-depth discussions about the morality of using an ad from a past comic that we actually didn't read in that run.
Right.
And the decision that we came to after long, painful deliberations was we can't. It would be dishonest.
We literally at first I thought you were doing a bit, and then we did have a long discussion about whether or not we should do all other ads if there's no ads in that one.
Yeah. We said we won't do it, but this is listener feedback, Matt.
Which side were you on in that discussion? Or did we not have sides? Were we just
I think we were both just really torn on it. We were like, hey, this means that we're not doing a deals and steals, but it at least means we're maintaining our integrity.
Because eventually, we'll do things like we'll be doing God Loves, Man Kills. I don't think there were ads in the Marvel graphic novels.
I should say, we came to this decision weighing the option of not doing a steals and deals or lying about having found this ad in one of the comics that we read. We really didn't consider just being upfront about
it. Hey, this wasn't in. All right, well.
Sound off, folks. Let us know what you think.
It's something to think about. Sound off here or in the Discord, and let us know if you're okay with us missing Pat Steals and Deals sometimes, or if every single time we miss a Pat Steals and Deals, you're like, fuck this, and throw your iPod across the room.
Your iPod Touch.
Yeah, which is what people listen to podcasts on.
mutantmenacepod@gmail.com. One more, Matt. We have returning champion Email Michael, who responds to every call to action we put in episode 31. He says,
okay,
hey Pat, tell Matt that while I couldn't personally find any fan art of Colossus and Nightcrawler kissing, I'm sure it's out there if either of you is willing to put in the work or fund any of a number of artists who can create it for you.
Did you think we
could commission this if we wanted?
Did you think we didn't know that there would be this? We were saying if fans want to draw it, please send it to us. Not, oh, I hope it exists out there. Please help us. No, if you are a listener and you want to draw it based on the podcast, please do.
Yeah, we're inviting you to. He goes on, he says, I don't personally find the term weather witch insulting because it wouldn't make sense for someone to call me such a thing for a number of reasons. But I do think it's a little reductive to call Storm a weather witch. However, Matt he knows, right, that what really matters is how Storm herself would see it.
I know!
She doesn't call herself one, as far as I know, and I think that's a good hint. That's a good point, Email Michael. I absolutely love this next line. He says, "We can add Rom to the list of people who have beaten up Wolverine, a list that will only grow longer. So the real question is, could a regular Wolverine beat up Rom?"
Once again, it's this fuck. Based on Snowbird as a Wolverine. Property. Yeah, based on the transitive property, I guess a real Wolverine could beat up Rom. So now we have Wendigo, Rom. Is that our list so far?
Harry Leland once.
Okay. Wendigo, Rom, Harry Leland. These are the people who can beat up Wolverine. And we're going to start here because like when in the first like say 10, 12, 20 even issues of Claremont's run, Wolverine wasn't really Wolverine yet. So I think it's fair to start just like with around Phoenix Saga, right?
Yeah. There's because technically he loses a fight to Hulk, right?
Right. Yeah, there's some people he loses fights to in those first but in those first couple issues it's like Warhawk beats up Wolverine. And I don't think Wolverine can lose a fight to Warhawk. I think that's just Claremont didn't know who Wolverine was yet and for some reason really loved Warhawk.
I do think an actual Wolverine could beat up Warhawk.
Yeah, I agree.
He closes out with, "I make it a policy not to comment on any of your other listeners who write in." I don't remember why he's mentioning that. Did we try to cause some drama?
I don't know. Finish the sentence.
Okay. He says, "So while I'm curious what weapon Jason had to say about me, I'll leave it up to him to repeat it in the Discord if he wants me to know." So Weapon Jason, he's calling you out.
He's calling you out. That you remember all that horrible stuff you said about Email Michael in your email that we couldn't read because it was too offensive. If you have the guts, Weapon Jason,
post it in the Discord.
Man,
along with your address.
We're really good, Pat. We're gonna
get somebody killed.
We're really gonna stir up some trouble with this completely manufactured, absolutely untrue conflict.
Email Michael, of course, signs off. Would draw Colossus and Nightcrawler kissing if you paid him. Email Michael. So thank you, Email Michael. Thank you to all our emailers. mutantmenacepod@gmail.com if you want to be featured on Pat's Email Corner.
All right. Well, that was Pat's Email Corner.
Matt, did you do anything X-Men related this week?
I did. As a matter of fact, I've been rereading Ecstatics.
Ooh, are you at this point in your read through, or you just decided to?
I just jumped ahead
to give it a reread.
Yeah, I was because they've had recently in 2019. So if people don't know, Peter Milligan and Mike Allred, artist Mike Allred, took over, and writer Peter Milligan, they took over X-Force.
What the hell is X-Force?
Wait, I think issue like 114 in the early 2000s, and they transformed it entirely into a completely different book, completely different characters, completely different premise. They still kept calling it X-Force. Very good, very funny. This was a reaction to the reality TV boom in the early 2000s. And it was this idea of like, what if there was a group of superheroes that were really only celebrities for being celebrities, the way that reality TV show stars were. And, they publicized their battles, and their battles were like against not supervillains, but like terrorists or revolutionary guerrilla groups in third world countries, or a CEO of a business who got kidnapped in Argentina, or some weird shit like that. And like they also made it so that the characters just sometimes die. They just get brutally hard. And these are superheroes who kill and then get killed. Like just sometimes horribly, brutally die in the middle of missions. And that character's just gone. And they just replace him. And the story just keeps going in a way that you've never seen in superhero comics before. And outside of their heroics, which, again, are dubious, kind of usually politically or financially motivated, they were just vapid, fame-obsessed, just celebrity types. And
it's very Defenders for a Day sort of dysfunction.
Yeah, they're all just always at each other's throats about like, oh, who's getting more screen time, or and it deals with things like race in an interesting way. It's just an interesting book. It's also funny, super fun, and Mike Allred's art is incredible. So eventually they had to stop being X-Force because people got so mad. So Peter Milligan, this is how smart this fucking book is. This is like emblematic of this book. Relaunches it as a book called Ecstatics, and everybody in the book hates the name. But it was the last words of one of the characters who died, so they stuck with it, even though they all hate it and know it's stupid. But now there's a 30-issue book out there called Ecstatics. That is an actual X title. So funny.
Yeah, really good. Read it if you get a chance. Again, just an all-time great satirical comic run that is, satirical, but officially canon.
Yeah.
Comic run.
And note perfect. It's where Dupe came from. And it's note perfect. You're reading it and you're just like, there's no missteps here. It's just great. But then again, because of its satirical nature, I guess you couldn't, even a misstep would seem intentional. So maybe that's...
Yeah.
But there's one last thing I want to talk about, which is hilarious, which is one of the things they wanted to do was make Princess Diana a mutant, bring her back from the dead, and make her join the team. Okay. But when solicitations for that issue came out, and people saw Princess Diana on the cover of Ecstatics wearing an X on her chest and clearly a superhero, people lost their minds. It was an international news story, and they had to change it to a character called Henrietta Hunter, who was a very posh British pop star. And the entire time, it's so clearly Princess Diana. Making reference to things in Princess Diana's life. But it's not Princess Diana. And then later, anytime they reference it, they're like, somebody's like, oh, I thought her name used to be, and then gets cut off. We'll get to that more in depth in the year 2030. Pat.
Yeah.
Did you do anything X-Men related this week?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Matt. I really did.
Oh, okay.
So, had some family stuff going on this week, which is
just like the
X-Men related in itself. But while at my mother-in-law's house, she has some strange free TV setup that I've never seen before. It gives you a lot of channels for free.
Should you be admitting this out loud on a...
No, it's legal.
Okay.
And a lot of them are movie channels or channels dedicated to just showing one television show over and over again.
Okay.
And I found one seemingly most times of the day showing a television show called Mutant X. From 2001.
Yeah.
Which I tried to watch. Not easy to do. Apparently ran for 3 seasons. Apparently, it was developed to be released alongside the X-Men movies, but then never acknowledged as canon to those movies.
Okay.
There was clearly a plan to integrate the two that never took off, and they, I believe, canceled it in lieu of, was it Generation X?
Yeah, which also failed real hard.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking on that. It's the X-Men TV show era, which, eventually also leads us to... eventually also leads us to Legion, which is a good and very complex TV show that explores some of the darker sides of the X-Men and explicitly mentions the X-Men too.
And what's that mutant show that exists? I don't know if it's still on, but it was on for a little while. But they weren't called mutants and they weren't called X-Men. But it was based on the X-Men. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's called like The Others or the...
Oh, no. I don't know what that is.
The Gifted. It was called The Gifted.
The Gifted was not an X-Men show?
I don't think they used the term X-Men, did they? I don't know. I didn't watch it. It's called The Gifted.
Yeah, neither did I.
And the dot in the I is an X.
Yeah.
And it's in a world where mutated humans are treated with distrust and fear, an institute for mutants battles to achieve peaceful coexistence with humanity.
That's so good. There is this Wild West era of copyright, like Marvel licensed copyrights that in the aughts just blossomed.
I remember seeing ads for Mutant X and Generation X in comic books in that era. So was the main character in Mutant X, was that Alex Summers?
No.
What? It's totally different?
A made-up character.
Did he jump around? Was he a dimension hopping? Was it a dimension hopping show?
I don't think so, Matt. I had so much trouble paying attention.
So you think it had absolutely nothing to do with the comic book that had just ended around that time called Mutant X?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked it up. None of these characters' names have anything to do with the X-Men.
Let us know if you watched it. Give us a review. Mutant X. I do remember watching Generation X for like 3 episodes, and then it started bouncing time slots.
I didn't know that ever came out. I thought that was one of those things that got advertised and then never actually came into existence. So it is interesting too. When I think it was like a year or two ago, I discovered that it actually did exist at one point.
End of an era.
All right. Well, Pat.
Yeah.
I think it's about friggin' time.
Whoa. Hey.
What? We get into reading each other comic books. Do you want to?
Yes, Matt. Uncanny X-Men number 149, and the dead shall bury the living.
Spooky. Spooky.
Yeah, nice and scary.
This is our Halloween episode too, so
technically it is, yeah.
Spooky. Ooh, dead.
Chris Claremont, writer, Dave Cockrum and Joseph Rubinstein, artists, Janice Chiang, letterer, Glynis Ween, colorist, Louise Jones, editor, and Jump Schuper, editor-in-chief. Release date June 9th, 1981, cover date September 1981. Professor Charles Xavier watches the X-Men repairing the Danger Room, taking notes on the team's greatest and oldest foe, Magneto.
Oh, he's also taking notes on Kermit the Frog. If you look at the at the monitors, it's all pictures of Magneto and one picture of Kermit the Frog.
He's trying to narrow down Magneto's race.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. His features are Caucasian, probably Nordic. Problematic.
As he does this, his computer screens suddenly go all wonky. Kitty Pryde, wearing a colorful new outfit of her own design, comes gliding through on the walls on roller skates. This costume sucks.
Do you want to describe it, or do you want me to?
Do you have it in front of you? If you have it,
I have it in front of me. Okay,
yeah, go ahead and tell us about it, man.
Okay, so it's like big ass orange gloves, like
she's cleaning a kitchen.
Yeah, she's cleaning a kitchen. Like they're flared and they have blue stars on the back of them. She's got basically a Huntress mask, like Huntress from Batman, with big spikes going up, and it's purple. She has a tank top on that's red with blue lightning bolts on it. Then a purple X belt, green short shorts, and very long stocking socks that go up to her like calves, that are purple, white, and black, and then roller skates. And then underneath that whole outfit, she's got a solid, like what looks like a solid gold skin tight bodysuit.
It's awful. And it's it's not like they're trying to make it look cool. There's plenty of people laughing at her for it, but this will be important later. It looks bad.
I can't imagine why Dave Cockrum wasn't told, and she has to have shiny gold. Like he would have designed this. Why was he like, I want to draw one of the hardest things in the world, shining metal in every panel.
And all the lightning bolts and patterns on her socks.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kitty's phasing powers short-circuited the computers, causing Xavier to lose all his work, so he telepathically shouts at her and forces her out of the room. She descends into the danger room where her teammates do their best to cheer her up until Professor X calls them away for a mission. Very old X-Men.
Yeah, they're all just like repairing the danger room and goofing with each other. And Wolverine says, okay, so Nightcrawler and Wolverine were talking about who owes who beer.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler owes 29 cases of beer, and Wolverine's like, I'm always precise when it comes to the important things in life. Broads and brews. He's
like counting them?
So he's precise with broads?
He keeps very accurate count of the number of women he's
met. The number of women in his life. Because any other way that you interpret I'm precise with women is going to be pretty gross.
Yeah, it's not something you should say with a 13-year-old in your presence. Hours later, the adult X-Men are headed south to Magneto's ruined volcano base. You remember this place?
Yeah, man.
To do some reconnaissance. When Wolverine pulls a stowaway out of the storage locker, Sprite.
Oh, what?
Scamp. After a lecture, they decide to let her come along into the abandoned base. Inside, they find that the lava is all gone, as if someone cleared it out intentionally.
Huh.
The team splits up and searches around, unaware that they are being watched by a menacing figure. Storm hears a voice from the past and remembers their fight with Garrock the Sun God, Garrock the Petrified Man.
Garrock the Sun God, Garrock the Petrified Man?
Yes, Matt, from some months back. And if you recall, she remembers her failure to save him as he plummeted into a vast thermal vent.
Like Star Wars?
Just like Star Wars.
Okay.
So she contacts Wolverine, and he assures her that he's neither heard nor smelled anyone but them down there. They're perfectly fine.
So weird to say that sentence. It's so often when we're talking about Wolverine, we have to talk about who he smelled.
Colossus and Sprite reach a dead end and start to turn around, but they're ambushed by the massive form of Garrock, the half-crystal, half-melted man.
What? Garrock, the half-crystal, half-melted man?
Whole new form. He knocks Colossus out with a single punch and tells Kitty that he has been charged by Magneto to guard the space against intruders, and as such, he must kill her.
No!
She dives forward, phasing through him, and finds that her phasing causes him physical pain.
Huh.
In response, he punches through a wall, releasing a lava flow through the cavern.
I'm excited to find out. Like, that's a mystery, right?
Yeah,
I'm excited to find out why her phasing causes him physical pain.
Yeah, this will all be explained.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of the base, Storm feels the sudden change in air pressure and temperature and reacts quickly, hurling a blast of freezing cold air from outside down the cavern. This coats the entire cavern in ice, but before Storm can find Kitty, she's knocked out by a frozen Colossus skittering down the corridor.
It's literally like Garrock uses Colossus as a bowling ball and just like rolls him down to knock Storm over.
Yeah, I would say it's a little closer to curling, Matt. But Wolverine and Nightcrawler go to investigate all the noise and take cover when they hear Garrock coming. He thinks to himself, first, that Storm was too late to save the child from the lava, and second, that the other X-Men must be hiding in the shadows. So he makes his crystal half glow super bright, ferreting out Nightcrawler and blasting at him with an eye beam. In the ensuing fight, we find out that Garrock was saved from death by Magneto.
Okay. All right, cool.
Across the base, Sprite is alive. She took a deep breath and kept herself phased, swimming through the lava, and now she's going to save her team from Garak. I kind of always forget that her power is tied to her being able to hold her breath.
Right, like when she's swimming through concrete, she can't just like take a big breath of concrete. Right,
yeah. It's limited by how long she can hold her breath. Yeah, which for me would not be. I smoked for 20 years. It would be...
You wouldn't be rough. You'd have trouble making it through the wall. You'd need a couple trips.
Telling me I gotta concentrate. When she reaches Garak, she sees he's bored a hole into the earth and intends to throw Storm down it as revenge. She wakes Wolverine up and makes him fastball special her at Garak. So cool. While Nightcrawler tries to catch Storm, but the plan fails and Garak leaps into the pit, holding Storm in his hands.
She does go through Garak, and it does cause him pain again, which I'm sure we'll find out. Like, the issue's almost over. We're going to find out why that happens.
Yeah. We've been slowly digging into his story since we last saw him here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is so committed that he just doesn't care about the pain in this case.
Right. He's so committed to his, like, I fell down a hole once, so you have to fall down a hole now.
The X-Men peer down the hole and see nothing but hear Storm groaning below. Kitty convinces them to send her down to look since she can walk on air, and her new costume is so shiny that it will allow her to see down there. It will reflect more light than the flashlights they're shining down.
Yeah, did he know that plot point when he designed this outfit? Is that why?
It's a solid gold.
That's ridiculous.
It's so loud. She finds Storm on a small ledge, and Garak appears behind them. He lunges, and Kitty phases, causing him to fall into the pit, screaming.
In pain again.
Yeah, and presumably falling to his death again.
Oh, and as he falls, does he like say, and the reason it causes me pain is because actually my molecules are...
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, he might. He's screaming. It's just unintelligible. That might be what he's trying to say. Nightcrawler teleports Storm and Sprite out of the hole, and they fly home, sure that Magneto is up to something.
So we better leave. So we better not find out what.
Meanwhile, Scott Summers and Elitist Forrester are still on Magneto's island base, but now dressed up in fancy gilded outfits with octopuses and shells and stuff on them.
Yeah, it's weird.
It looks so absurd.
Cyclops is kind of like when he was in like Archon's dimension, and they gave everybody weird like hero outfits.
Right. Yes.
It's kind of like that, but with like a big octopus on the front, and it's a golden octopus, and its tentacles kind of wrapping in weird ways around him.
It's very, and this is a thing that we are learning Dave Cockrum loves. It's very swashbuckly. He's very
true, yeah.
He's wearing, the shape of his tunic is almost like a pirate who has a couple buttons unbuttoned.
Yeah. And Lee is wearing like a cape that covers her boobs and clasps right like in the middle of her chest. And like a
bikini bottom.
A bikini bottom, but that goes up on the sides. That like goes rises up to like her ribs in a triangle, so you can still see her the line down her stomach.
And then like thigh high boots, right?
Well, no, one is like an ankle high boot, and then the other it's like a barefoot, but there is a gold, almost like snake curled around her leg. And she's wearing a headdress that looks like a big golden butterfly. So it's like the thing that confuses me is she had to sit. She's kind of like saying that she thinks her outfit is ridiculous. And again, like if that's the only clothes that she has, okay, I got to put it on so that I'm not nude, right? But you don't have to curl the snake jewelry up your leg. You could say, I'm going to leave that and the headdress off. you could
if you really wanted to.
Yeah, you don't have to wear those. And she even says, she's like, I felt more dressed skinny dipping. We saw you last issue. You were wearing way less clothes than this.
It's also very, and this is a characteristic that I love that we're discovering about him. I think it's under-discussed, but it's very Magneto to dress them up in these costumes. He loves this like techno-futuristic medieval royalty theme.
I love that he sits around just making costumes for people.
Yeah, designing outfits.
He's been doing this the whole time. He does this so often. Also, like, Cyclops knows what happened to Angel. Why would you wear something Magneto made you?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that, but Scott, come on.
Scott.
Man. Scott thinks how doomed he'd be if Magneto had any clue who he was. So Magneto shows up and is like, hey, Cyclops. Hey, Cyclops.
Hey, you're Cyclops.
By the way, if you haven't noticed, your powers don't work here. To be continued.
So that whole thing is like a page.
There's a lot of that in this run, too. Just somebody being like, oh, by the way... any other thoughts on Uncanny X-Men number 149, Matt?
I think we got them all out. I think I'm ready to tell you about Uncanny X-Men number 150. Unless you have other thoughts.
No, please.
Magneto!
You? Magneto?
Magneto? Written by Chris Claremont. Drawn by Dave Cockrum, Joseph Rubinstein, and Bob Wyacek. Lettered by Tom Orzechowski and, you can really tell the difference, Gene Simek. Colorist Glynis Wein. Editor Louise Jones. Editor-in-Chief John Schuper. Release date July 14th, 1981. Cover date October 1981. Magneto has a deal for every nation on Earth. Give me total control of everything or I kill everyone.
Ooh.
His speech, projected holographically to every world leader on Earth, goes on to label humanity as poor caretakers of mutants and humans alike and demands complete nuclear disarmament.
Matt, we get an important first appearance as we look over the world leaders. This is the first appearance in Marvel Comics of Ronald Reagan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, who's Ronald Reagan?
Ronald Reagan, Matt, in the Marvel Comics universe, the actor becomes president in 1981.
Oh, okay.
He goes on to form the Commission on Superhuman Activities, the organization that eventually takes the Captain America shield away from Steve Rogers and gives it to John Walker.
Whoa.
He was turned into a snake man by the Viper and attacked Captain America.
Okay.
Brought back to life actually pretty recently, but was killed by Deadpool.
Okay.
And he allowed the AIDS crisis to foment through the 80s, resulting in tens of thousands of deaths. So, pretty major villain getting his introduction to comics here.
As Magneto shuts off his broadcast, Scott Summers and Lee Forrester argue with him about the merits. On Magneto's side, the world could enter a golden age where war and violence are past, and the world's resources are turned to human and environmental aid. On Scott and Lee's side, there is no freedom in having an ultimate dictator who rules with threats of eradication.
We get introduced to Lee here as Scott's boss and friend.
Okay, so this is the beginning of Magneto having like a real ethos.
In actual philosophy, yeah.
And this, I think, is what, when people say Magneto is right, this is what they mean, right? He's like, all of you world leaders suck. And you made nuclear weapons and you're mean to mutants. So, first, I demand you disarm. And second, if you give all rule to me, I'm going to stop war and stop state-sanctioned violence. And this will be, like, I'm going to give all the money to social programs and science and poor people.
Yeah. And we've touched on this before, right? This is just generally a problem with how comics portray revolutionaries. they'll give them a solid philosophy and then say, but also they want to kill like 1 million people.
Right.
So at some point in this issue, it's a double-size issue, so there's a lot to cover here. But at some point, Scott's speech is saying, Magneto's way is wrong. The peace he offers is illusory. His golden age will last until he dies, if that long, and it'll end as it began, in blood.
Mm-hmm.
This is supposed to be like the turning point where everybody on the team confirms that, yeah, they don't believe in Magneto's way here, right?
Yes, this is him talking to Lee. This is when he is with Lee, and Lee is like, are you going to fight him by yourself? You don't have any powers. And it's like, I have to. I'm sorry, I have to.
Yeah.
He has no idea the X-Men are on the way. It's very Scott Summers. It's very cool. It's very heroic, where he's just like, yeah, this is what I believe. I can't do nothing.
It is. It's an extremely Scott Summers moment, and it's painted as a heroic moment. I don't think that's the problem. The problem is that, like, there's no evidence that Magneto choosing to fund social programs is only and demilitarize most of the world is only going to last until he dies, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think the point is, like, even a good dictator has created a dictatorial system. We saw this in the United States, right? Like, we created a system that continued to funnel power to the executive branch and the judiciary branch and started taking power away from the legislative branch. And the legislative branch is the most representative branch in our democracy.
Right.
So what we are seeing now is where it was like, okay, Obama has all this power and we're not complaining about it because we like what Obama's doing. Granted, that was illusory
that was
itself.
We were all very optimistic.
We're not going to relitigate our weird Obama thing that all of us went through. But like, so yeah, when Obama's in power, we're glad that he's like taking these things, but then he has set up a system where the next person who gets in power, which fucking happened to be Donald Trump, now has all these same powers and then learns to take even more. So, like, I think Scott's right in that the more power you funnel into one position, the more dangerous it is that somebody bad can come along and fucking destroy the world.
Well, so yes, and that is my point, is that, like, there is no vision of a revolutionary that could set up a lasting system.
Right.
Magneto wants to do all of this for the good of mankind. It's the same sort of thing that Dr. Doom wants to do. It's just all power has to go through him.
Yeah.
There's no concept of, like, if they're trying to draw these comparisons to other revolutionaries that they are afraid of, that's not what any of those revolutionaries have actually said.
Right. Okay. Yes. So as a metaphor, you're absolutely right. Why is there not a character who's like, I want to tear down the system as it is and put in a truly representative democracy where we eliminate various systems of oppression and exploitation?
Right. Because this is what Magneto is presenting, essentially. It's just that he places himself at the top, number one. So
yeah, so it's not representative at all. Yeah.
Right. But also, number two, he wants to place mutants above humans. He's got this idea that the oppressed should become the oppressors. And that's another just like common misunderstanding of what revolutionaries are trying to do and say.
That's like what creates racism, right? Is if we let the people of another race have rights, they're going to use those rights to take away ours.
Yeah.
When we were in power, we did this to them. So if we give them the chance to take power, they'll do it to us. And like, that's what fuels racist ideology. And you're right. Like that's not, it's not what fucking Martin Luther King was saying. It's not what Malcolm X was saying. There are revolutionary ideas that would be interesting to engage with, right? Like it could be if Magneto was like, I'm going to set up a representative democracy and I'm going to do it in this way. The argument could be is paradise, is utopia worth the chaos, the destruction that it costs to build a utopia, right?
Yeah.
And that's a calculus that a lot of people have to make, right? Like Latin American revolutionaries throughout the past 100 years, like literally dozens of times, have had to make this calculus. Is overthrowing this corrupt dictator worth the damage that we will have to do to accomplish it?
Yeah. The loss of human life that is inevitable to accomplish it.
Yes, and the possibility that when we set up a new system, it'll have similar or new problems that are worse. I watched a debate once between Noam Chomsky and Michael Foucault, and the topic was on revolution. It was about human nature, innate human nature, but it turned into this idea about like when chasing revolutionary ideals, are those ideals fueled by the innate human desires for freedom or peace or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they fueled by the conceptions of society that you have developed within an oppressive system, and thus by trying to imagine the next system before this one is torn down, is it going to inherently be oppressive? Because that's all you know.
That's like the point of the King school of nonviolence, right? Is that there's the reason for nonviolence is because violence just begets more violence, and it's possible to revolt through nonviolence.
You can't build, you're saying, so, okay, as it relates to what I'm saying, you can't build a nonviolent system through violence because you're tacitly endorsing violence as a means for change.
Right.
And yeah, so I think that's something that's the Chomsky-Foucault debate too, is right. Like this idea of, is the reason you think violence is a fuel for change because you grew up in a world that taught you this. And thus, can you not even envision your next society until you tear down the one you have? So Magneto grew up through an oppressive society. And we're going to learn a lot about Magneto in this issue when we get back to talking about this issue. But I think this is a really good time to talk about the politics of the X-Men, which we've been dancing around. Magneto's ideas of how to achieve the peace that he wants are informed by the suffering that he has experienced as... I'm just going to spoil it because it's later in this exact issue. As a Jewish person who lived through the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Or is he Jewish or is he Romani? I've always been a little unclear about that. I think his wife Magda was Romani, right?
Maybe. I don't know, Matt. We're not following the Avengers.
Anyway, the oppression of mutants and the oppression of the Romani people and the oppression of the Jews in the Holocaust all built Magneto's worldview. So of course he's going to imagine that violence has to be used to create change.
Yes. Yeah.
So this debate is interrupted when Magneto asks about Jean Grey, suddenly.
Yeah, he's just like, he literally starts with, oh, by the way. Oh, how's she, I meant to mention this earlier, how's Jean doing?
Scott tells him the story of Dark Phoenix, and Magneto grieves, though Scott has a hard time believing it. Again, I think as fucking ham-fisted as that interruption is, it's good that we get that here, that Magneto deeply cares about mutant kind and deeply respects his foes.
Yes, especially the X-Men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Their debate about grief is interrupted once again by an alarm warning them of incoming nuclear missiles.
Oh,
Magneto harmlessly disarms them, but then sinks the Soviet submarine that launched them. Man, they make it clear these people had no idea what they were attacking. Like, Chris Claremont is like, they think it's World War III. They don't know what they've never launched a nuclear missile before, and they don't know why they're doing it.
Yeah. And Magneto just appears on their boat to say that was foolish, and then they just lose control of their submarine entirely.
And sink until
terrifying.
Sink until it crushes them. In further retaliation, and as a warning, Magneto opens up a volcanic rupture in the Siberian city of Verakino. I don't think that's real.
Okay. I didn't know.
It eventually became a Star Wars planet. He stalls it, the volcanic eruption, only for a panicked mass evacuation. This is another place where the art doesn't match Claremont, but it's like he learned his lesson from the Dark Phoenix genocide. It's like Cockrum starts drawing the city blowing up, and he's like, but Magneto pauses it.
Everybody made it out.
Everyone's fine. Lee wanders off to sulk about Magneto's hatred of humankind, even humans who have done nothing wrong individually. Again, another like straw man anti-racist argument.
Yeah.
Scott joins her and they kiss as above an SR-71 Blackbird falls from the sky. Aboard that Blackbird, the X-Men are struggling to recover from losing power after hitting Magneto's field thing. Wolverine was getting a sandwich at the time, you see, so he goes flying and bonks Storm on the head.
Bonk. Just a panel of the two of them bonking heads.
Knocking her unconscious, and she only wakes up moments before the plane hits the water, creating an updraft.
Thank God.
To slow their fall, but it's not enough.
Oh.
They sink below the water. Professor X, hard cut, is boating with Peter Corbeau again.
Peter Corbeau is here.
Professor X loves to do this. Boat with Peter Corbeau.
In exotic locations. They also introduce us to Peter Corbeau as astronaut, physicist, engineer, creator of the StarCorps Manned Orbital Solar Laboratory, and, most importantly, friend.
Aww. And nudist. We forgot that.
Yes, man loves to march from the beach to Westchester, New York, fully nude.
Looking for Scott and Lee with Moira McTaggart and Carol Danvers, a.k.a. the former Miss Marvel.
Why the fuck is Carol Danvers here?
They're tagging along for the ride.
Oh, okay.
And they're looking for Scott and Lee. Xavier just lost touch with the X-Men, and Corbeau tells them they may have disappeared close to where Scott and Lee fell off the Arcadia. In other words, the Bermuda Triangle!
Oh, no.
Dude, I had a legitimate fear of the Bermuda Triangle as a kid. I never came anywhere near it, but like it was a thing that I thought was just like a part of everybody's life. Oh no, better try and avoid it.
It's a popular discussion online, right? I think specifically among people of our generation saying like, what happened to the Bermuda Triangle? Why don't we talk about that as adults like we did as kids? And
like, yeah.
I don't think it's just like a childlike fantasticism. I think it's that there was a chunk of time where this was a trending topic.
Like, yeah, the people sunk in the Bermuda Triangle all the time. And then they just kind of stopped.
And I think science eventually won out.
All right, so the story hops around a bit here, but basically the X-Men escape the Blackbird, scuba into Magneto Island, and find Lee Forrester on the docks, first mistaking her for a foe. At the same time, Magneto's weird power field seemingly switches off Colossus's power, turning him human and almost drowning him at the bottom of the ocean with no scuba gear. But they CPR him back to life. Okay, here's another one of those things that he's like, oh, I'm drowning. I feel the water in my lungs already. I'm blacking out, and everyone's already too far away to hear me. I'm dead. And then he just appears on the docks.
He's just, they're carrying him up.
They're like, we got him.
Somebody noticed off panel.
It's just like this fake, and Claremont's better than this, you know what I mean? But throughout these couple issues, it's just this fake tension that he keeps creating. Like, oh, this person might die. And then with very little to no explanation, it's just like, nope, they're fine.
Let's see if it happens again.
Okay, all right, you're right. They find Scott and devise a plan to stop Magneto, even after discovering they've all lost their powers. The team splits up boys versus girls, and the boys make their way down to Magneto's secret machine that controls the Earth's crust, attempting to destroy it. They can't shut it down, so they decide to have Nightcrawler and Wolverine climb out above the vast Star Warsian chasm the device is housed in and cut the vertical and horizontal poles holding it in place. They almost fall a couple times, but with Nightcrawler's acrobatic ability and Colossus's natural strength, they survive and manage to cut the thing loose. But before we see what happens, let's cut to the girls' team. The girls...
There's a ridiculous bit of dialogue here where the boys' team is like, boy, it's a good thing we boys are doing this and not the girls. Why? What is it about this task?
Yeah. The girls are upstairs trying to find the computers that Magneto uses to, shut them down or whatever. When they find them, they're too complicated for Sprite to understand. Storm continues searching and finds a sleeping Magneto in his bed. She contemplates momentarily how tragic it is that they should be enemies, and whether or not she should kill him while he sleeps. As she approaches with a knife, she finds she cannot. But just at that moment, Magneto wakes up! With magnetic force, he tosses Storm through the window, and his costume flows onto his body in a stream of metal particles.
It's so cool.
It's really cool.
He's just sitting shirtless on his bed. He's, of course, jacked.
Yeah.
And his costume is just like piece by piece floating over to him. It's rad.
He's got puffy white Emperor Palpatine hair, but if we ignore that, he looks just so badass. As he stands up, he's assaulted by the astral form of Charles Xavier. They enter a battle of wills while, aboard Peter Corbeau's ship, Xavier's chair comes loose from the deck and begins flying towards Magneto Island.
Why would you secure yourself in a metal chair to fight Magneto?
It's like, my chair, it's flying! And you just see it kind of like hovering away from the boat. Oh no! Back downstairs, the machine thing, as it begins to plummet, suddenly restores itself to perfection. The boys look up to see Magneto with Kitty, Xavier, and Lee in a magnetic stasis field, and seconds later, join them. They ask where Storm is, and Magneto tells them he killed her, though he wished he did not have to. Storm, meanwhile, is hanging from her cloak off of a bracket on the side of the building.
Oh, thank God.
She climbs up with great pains back into the computer room and throws a chair at the computer. This makes it explode and turns off Magneto's entire power dampening field.
You got to imagine she probably charged that chair up, right?
That was what Kitty couldn't figure out. Throw a chair at it. Thus, downstairs, Cyclops' I-beams kick back in, and he blasts Magneto all the way across the fucking room.
Yo.
It's funny. He's like, the only person who's noticed is Xavier. And then Charles Xavier is behind him with like a
sly little smirk.
And his eyebrows are It's the ain't I a stinker look.
It's happening.
All right, the letterer changes. And the X-Men charge into battle against Magneto. Nightcrawler.
Just before we get into battle, there's a great like half-page panel of the X-Men leaping into battle together, except that Scott and Kitty are still in these ridiculous outfits. Scott adds to it by putting on his little visor sunglasses.
Where do you even get that visor?
You have 3-4 members of this team looking badass in their costumes, and then Scott looking like Aquaman with a visor, and Kitty just with all her noise.
Yeah.
It looks so bad. It's very funny.
On top of that, this lettering changes in a way that it suddenly kind of looks like the lettering from like Little Nemo in Dreamland. And it really changes I don't know if you felt that way. It really changes the tone of the rest of the issue, where it suddenly feels like I'm reading an old comic.
Yes. Yeah. It seems like Tom Orzechowski got sick, right? he couldn't finish the work.
Oh yeah, that's why in one of the word bubbles you can see the ink, like the letter trailing down the page. Like he's like
he threw up on it a little.
So, all right, back to the action. Nightcrawler cracks Magneto across the skull with a pipe. Colossus drops a ceiling on him. Storm arrives and wraps him up in a tornado. As Magneto loses his breath because the tornado is pulling all the air away from him, he begins to use Colossus as a projectile, knocking Storm out and making everyone else hit the deck. But Professor X has regained his composure and hits Magneto with a psionic bolt. With him distracted, Wolverine gets in close and fucking shatters Magneto's helmet with his claws. Peter has turned back to flesh and decks Magneto in his unprotected face, while Storm lowers the air pressure, trying to drain him of oxygen. Meanwhile, Cyclops sends Sprite out through the wall to find Magneto's computers and fuck them up beyond repair, stopping his world-conquering scheme.
He says,
yeah.
Kitty starts fucking up the computers, and Magneto says, huh? I sense a disruption in the matrix patterns of my library computer's magnetic memory cores.
Roy Thomas came, stopped in to destroy a little bit of dialogue. So yeah, Magneto uses some magic magnet science to gain control of Storm's lightning.
Right.
Like, what? And he blasts her with it until her skin burns, which is fucking brutal. Colossus interrupts it in metal form, and Nightcrawler teleports Storm to the water outside the fortress to put her out. But Magneto, about to crush Colossus, suddenly makes that realization about his magnetic memory cores. He charges through the ceiling, crazed. Like old Magneto, crazy. He's got the crazy eyes.
He's got the crazy eyes back.
And he's still charged with lightning. He attacks Kitty. And when she phases through him, she's instantly electrocuted and goes limp in Magneto's arms. Kneeling and cradling her, believing her dead, Magneto begins to rant in grief. He speaks aloud about his wife and how she ran from him when she saw him use his powers to avenge their murdered daughter. He speaks about his childhood in Auschwitz and the Nazis' disregard for human life. How both of these things formed his goal to ruthlessly pursue a world where mutants were no longer persecuted. Storm arrives, also believing Kitty to be dead and swearing to kill Magneto. And he relents. In his mind, his dream has failed. He's become the villain, and he's too old to change. So he's just like, yeah, kill me. I'm not going to do anything. Storm sits with him, and she tells him the choice is his. It's later, and the X-Men are partying on the beach.
Yay!
Everyone is safe and happy, including Kitty.
Including Kitty.
Corbeau's ship has arrived, Magneto is gone, and Colossus pulled the Blackbird from the bottom of the ocean. The end!
Everything's back to normal.
What the fuck, dude?
Okay. It seems like they opted for about a page and a half of the X-Men goofing on the beach instead of showing us either Kitty surviving or Magneto escaping, being vaporized, whatever happened to him. And listen, I love that they left whatever happened between Storm and Magneto there to your imagination. I don't mind that he disappears, but the narration for the beach scene literally starts with, miraculously, Kitty survived.
Yeah. Because it's like she was phasing at the time, so she was fine. But she wasn't fine. We watched her go limp.
This happened in Spider-Woman too, right? Where, like, they just blow up a building, and then the next panel, Chris Claremont is telling us, like, hey, everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yes. It's really frustrating. Think about how good of a scene that would have been. Storm walking out with a limp Kitty to see the rest, to find the rest of the X-Men. The X-Men reacting and also saying, what about Magneto? And Storm, like, refusing to answer.
Or not being able to answer because Kitty pops back to life.
Right. Anything.
And it's after such an amazing monologue, a rant by Magneto about just, like, what has he done with his life, being corrupted by his own ambition. Like, it's brilliant. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we get to go party on the beach.
And it's literally just like she's doing a prank where she's pretending she's Star Wars and using the Force to, like... Also, Claremont, fucking get over Star Wars, dude. You don't need to reference Star Wars every 5 panels.
So this is famously a reference to Empire, which is still pretty fresh in people's minds at this point, right? Where she's pretending to use the Force to lift.
But the cutting of the vertical, like the going around and knocking, like that was Obi-Wan Kenobi shutting off the what's it called? The tractor beam or whatever.
That's true. Yeah.
And like
it's a very Star Wars device and like missile silo style chasm that you have to work your way around.
Yeah. And not only that, but people keep referencing Star Wars out loud. Like, it's just, dude, stop it. And I did not need a panel. I did not need a whole page of Kitty pretending to levitate the plane and it actually being Colossus dragging it out of the ocean.
Yeah. It seems like they wrote, so I think this was 56 pages, and it seems like maybe they wrote 60 pages,
and it was like,
and had to
gotta cut it,
trim it down. Yeah. One note from me on this, a real missed opportunity. I think we are seeing Scott without his powers.
Mm-hmm.
How tragic would it be if he just has the most beautiful eyes you've ever seen?
Yeah, that would be good.
They just kind of give him regular old eyes. He just looks like, I mean, he's a handsome dude. He's got the best head of hair on the team, but
it's brown eyes. I think it would have been even cool if he had red eyes, right? Like, I don't know, whatever.
Ooh.
Like, it just like dyed his pupils or something. Like, I don't know, fucking anything.
But they should be beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the tragedy.
Beautiful red eyes. But no, he's just got regular ass brown eyes and no one cares.
All right, Matt.
All right. Anyway, that was a big issue. Like that issue is a turning point in a lot of ways. It is the turning point of the X-Men trying to dig deeper into their metaphors. It is the turning point of Magneto being a real person.
Yeah,
with real
character
motivations
you can,
and
in some ways, sympathize with.
Right, yeah. And even they had like that thing, like Lee has a little inward monologue about how Magneto's wrong, but he's not bad. And Storm has 2 scenes about how Magneto's wrong, but not bad. And she wishes they could be friends. And it's like Chris Claremont trying to tell us, I've got a new idea for Magneto. Keep this all in your head.
Yeah.
I don't want this to be weird in a couple years.
And it's pulling in, like, and we've talked about this before, he's not just an X-Men villain, he's a major Avengers villain in this time. And he's really pulling, and in some cases retconning, full Magneto arcs. Like, he's done the research on Magneto to say, okay, here's everything about him we have to address to really make him into Like, if we want to make him into a complete character.
Yeah. And not even necessarily a hero, but like a character with true motivations. And the point of the issue. Oh, my shit got a mutant killed, and a young mutant.
Yeah.
I must have fucked up somewhere along the line. Okay, so clearly Chris Claremont is onto this new thing where all of his supervillains are smart and have fully understandable motivations, and he's done with the ridiculous plots and on to like some more mature storytelling. So do you want to tell me about Uncanny X-Men 151?
Yes, Matt, let me tell you about Uncanny X-Men number 151, X-Men -1.
Okay, wow. This is going to be real good and mature.
Chris Claremont, writer, Jim Sherman, Bob McLeod, and Joseph Rubinstein, artists. We got a little shakeup here.
Uh-oh.
Tom Orzechowski, letterer, Bonnie Wilford, colorist, Louise Jones, editor, and Jump Schuper, editor-in-chief. Release date August 11th, 1981. Cover date November 1981. Xavier has some news for everyone.
Oh!
Kitty's parents are withdrawing her from Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters and enrolling her in the Massachusetts Academy, a private school run by, if you don't remember, a woman named Emma Frost, the Hellfire Club's White Queen.
Whoa!
Turns out, she's still alive. And Kitty is super upset and blames her parents' divorce, but there's nothing to be done, so she kisses everyone goodbye, including Peter on the lips.
Come on.
And hops into the role so Aurora can drive her upstate. 2 details here, Matt.
Okay, sure.
Number 1, for this announcement that Xavier has gathered everyone for, Kitty is sitting in a bikini on his desk. Why?
Huh. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
That's strange. And to be
Does
fair,
she do
Storm
that
is
a
also
lot?
in a bikini. But it seems like they were chatting privately before the rest of the team got here. It's very confusing.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, if they were in the pool or something or whatever, or they were out sunbathing. But how long has Kitty been sitting on his desk in her bikini?
Yeah. Today, you would see that and you would say, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Maybe not in the 80s. Second detail, we finally get confirmation. This is Xavier's Rolls Royce, not Warren Worthington's. It's never been clear.
Okay. All right.
As they arrive and Kitty goes to see her dorm, Aurora finds herself face to face with Emma Frost herself.
No way.
The sky sparks with lightning, but soon Aurora is back at the Rolls saying a heartfelt goodbye to Kitty.
Wait, so what was that whole thing?
As Aurora drives away, she pulls over and starts going nuts, reciting Shakespeare, flying around, making the weather all crazy,
fuck?
putting on a big white fur coat and smoking cigarettes. This is all weird until she picks up the car phone and calls Sebastian Shaw. Somehow, Emma Frost has taken over Storm's body. See?
Wow. Okay, so it makes perfect sense. Mature storytelling.
Yeah, now it's not weird. They really make a sexual show of the powers, too. It's
definitely...
Like she sits back and smokes a cigarette at the end, which I know is a signifier that this is actually Emma Frost, but also it's definitely like, yes, this was it's the same thing they did with Jean, right? Like this is orgasmic for Emma, and almost like she's kind of like, whoa, like Storm gets to do this all the time, kind of thing. Back at the Massachusetts Academy, in a cell. The real Storm wakes up only to find herself in Emma Frost's body.
God.
There's a fun reference to her cat eyes here, which we haven't seen in a long time. But originally she was designed as like, she was a combination of the Storm power set we know and a woman that was half cat.
Yeah.
And here she knows something is wrong because she wakes up in the dark and says, my vision is superior to that of a normal human's. It's only second to, especially my vision in the dark, it's only second to Wolverine's. She's talking about her cat eyes.
I never put that together that that was because Dave Cockrum had two characters, one named Storm, who I think was like a dude, right? And then
maybe
he had one that kind of looked like Aurora, but was like a cat lady. And yeah, he just combined them.
Yes.
Including the cat part.
Including the cat eyes. That's why your eyes look like that.
Made that connection that's why she has cat eyes. Is because Cockrum was like, yeah, but I have to keep the cat eyes.
She's still half cat.
She's still half cat.
Back in Westchester, Kurt Wagner and Amanda Sefton are kissing by the lake.
Whoa!
Suddenly, a sentinel attacks and knocks Kurt out.
Whoa.
As it's about to grab Amanda, a ruby red bolt of energy flies from the mansion window across the ground, knocking the sentinel back into the water. So fucking cool.
Cyclops just sniping from the window, just sitting back.
Incredible.
Like, I'm just, I got this.
Wolverine appears to fireman carry Nightcrawler back to the mansion when two more sentinels rise up out of the lake. They ensnare Amanda and steal tentacles, but Wolverine frees her. Kurt wakes up and they run off while Colossus and Wolverine get to fighting sentinels with claws and judo, and Cyclops sniping from the window.
Yeah, so cool.
Very rad.
Fucking Colossus judo throws a sentinel over his shoulder. It rules.
Another sentinel appears through the mansion roof and knocks Scott and Xavier out with some nerve gas. As the others gain the upper hand on the boys by the lake, Nightcrawler grabs some plastic explosive from the armory. We see the armory again, Matt. And bamps from sentinel to sentinel, exploding their legs. This is so cool. The letterer changes as Storm arrives and starts zapping the sentinels with lightning wildly, accidentally knocking Wolverine unconscious. She asks Colossus to change back to Peter, and when he does, she zaps Amanda, Kurt, and Peter because she's Emma Frost. You see?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it.
Back in Massachusetts, real Storm in Emma's body is picking the lock to her cell, but as she escapes, Emma's telepathy kicks in and she collapses in pain. The Hellfire guards, Harvey and Janet, rush to see what's up, but Storm Emma runs off. Remembering a conversation with Jean from way back, she realizes as she hides behind a bush and prepares to brain Harvey with a rock that she must focus her will to control the thoughts she lets in.
We don't see it, but she's picking up a giant rock and waiting for Harvey to get close. It's very clear that she's just about to brain this guy. He's fucking done.
Soon, she rushes into Kitty's room to check on her, but Kitty thinks it's Emma, obviously, and tries to run. Panicking, Storm in Emma's body, Storm Brain in Emma body, hits her with a telepathic bolt.
Oh, Jesus.
Is Kitty dead? To be continued.
Oh, no! So wait, are you telling me that we followed up the story, the very mature story about Magneto dealing with his trauma with a fucking story about body swapping, like a body
Freaky
swap,
Friday,
like a Freaky Friday story? Jesus Christ, man!
Classic Marvel brain swap.
God damn it.
Happens all the time.
Oh boy, what did you think of this one?
Very silly.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to did I like it? I don't think I did.
If there's one thing Chris Claremont is good at, it's taking himself very seriously. So even when you get this sort of childish, why is any of this happening? This doesn't, they go out of their way to say oh yeah, Kitty's parents haven't been mentally manipulated by one of the world's most powerful psychics. They're just making bad choices. And this doesn't make sense. It's just a reason to precipitate. We're not, in this issue, we don't find out what the Hellfire Club wants with the X-Men.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll find out next issue.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll be very, very clear. So why don't I read to you? X-Men 152, the Hellfire Gambit.
Ooh.
Remember what I said about how he loves certain words?
The Hellfire and Gambit.
Chris Claremont, writer. Bob McLeod, guest penciler. Joseph Rubinstein, inker. Janice Chiang, letterer. Don Warfield, colorist. Louise Jones, editor. And John Schroeper, editor-in-chief.
We've really got a rotating list of pencilers, inkers, letterers, colorists.
Yeah.
It seems like some sort of bug going around the bullpen these few months. Everybody's sick.
Everyone's sick. Everyone's just having a rough time. Release date September 8th, 1981. Cover date December 1981. A sports car zips down a winding mountain road in torrential rain as Storm follows from the sky in hot pursuit, sloppily hurling lightning bolts at it. Because she's Emma Frost, see? She's not adept at blasting moving targets. Inside the car, we see the body of Emma Frost driving while Kitty regains consciousness in the passenger seat. Seeing the White Queen, Kitty immediately phases out of the car, and the car spins out of control and veers off a cliff, exploding below. Storm doesn't even fucking try to explain.
No, yeah. Well, I imagine it all happened very quickly, but
it is the worst no time for that now we've seen yet. Like, oh, no time for that now. I can't tell you that that you're not being kidnapped by your fucking arch villain.
It's she's just, I guess, all she says is like, quiet, child, which is a very Storm thing to say, but when it's coming out of Emma Frost's voice,
it sounds like an Emma Frost
pretty intimidating
thing to say.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, I didn't say that carelessly. Fucking Emma Frost is Kitty's arch villain at this point.
Yes. Yeah. This is her only experience. It's really the X-Men's only experience with the Hellfire Club is through Kitty being manipulated, or Emma Frost trying to manipulate Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, exactly. It's just versus Kitty. Like, yeah, Emma Frost seems obsessed with Kitty Pryde, and Kitty Pryde is fucking terrified of Emma Frost with good reason. Okay.
This is also, we do get a very good cinematic car falling off a cliff and then for some reason exploding. Very 1981.
Okay, so Kitty survives by staying intangible as she falls, but has a massive headache from the effort. Yeah. Emma in Storm's body isn't so lucky. Having been following so close behind, she catches fire when the car explodes. In a panic, she creates a strong gust of wind to blow her out of danger, immediately losing control of it and spreading the burning gasoline all over the forest. Oh, wait, so that
starts a forest fire.
So that's Emma Storm.
Emma in Storm's body.
Yeah, okay. The spreading flames catch Kitty's attention, who's fully regained her faculties now. She spots the body of Emma Frost unconscious next to the raging fire. She'll surely die if Kitty doesn't take action, and Kitty wants to call herself a hero. But does Emma Frost deserve to be saved? This is another... I was in a car when it explodes, but I'm fine.
So yes, there's a lot of... everybody's fine. Kitty just happened to phase her way down, and even though it should hurt her, she's okay.
Yeah.
Storm in Emma's body is just lying unconscious. I guess she was thrown from the car, and then Emma uses a big burst of oxygen to put a fire out on herself, and it works. She's fine.
Sometimes I wish that the world's community of writers had never learned the phrase "thrown clear," because what
does that mean to you?
That's all they do. Every fucking writer of anything action does this all the time. It's insane. Back at the mansion, the body of Storm flies in through the skylights, cursing Aurora's name for escaping and possibly damning Emma to be stuck in her body forever if she's dead. In walks Sebastian Shaw, reassuring her that she still has incredible beauty and grace in Storm's body. They remind each other that all is going to plan and start making out.
Oh.
Pat, what if somebody used your body to make out with their boyfriend?
Yeah, this is pretty fucked up. Especially, I mean, So the person most fucked up by this is Storm, right? Her body is being used for another purpose without her permission, which is, there are plenty of metaphors we could dig into there if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Also fucked up for Emma to be like, hey, I possibly just lost my body. Like, I was going to switch back after this was all done, and now she's off dying in my body. And her boyfriend, Sebastian Shaw, is like, oh, I kind of like this look, actually. Could you...
Let me make out with this new body of yours.
Also, we learned that they did it through a persona exchange gun.
Oh, see, I was wondering how they would have done it, but that makes perfect sense.
That Emma. What an inventor.
Meanwhile, upstate, we see Kitty and Emma hiding out in a drainage ditch. Kitty, having chosen to save Emma's body, has restrained her and refuses to believe that she's actually speaking with Aurora. Her skepticism only falters slightly when Emma's body is able to undo the knot she was tied up with. The knot that Aurora had taught Kitty.
Ooh.
We cut back to the mansion where Harry Leland and some Hellfire goons have the X-Men and Amanda Sefton all restrained in inhibitor manacles.
Oh boy.
In walks Storm, hand in hand with Shaw, donning the outfit of the White Queen. She taunts the X-Men, still pretending to be Aurora, throwing Wolverine into a rage to start fighting. Shackles be damned. Some inverse color Hellfire goons come in and put a stop to that, dragging him out of the room. These goons start beating the hell out of Wolverine, revealing that they've been cybernetically enhanced to defeat Wolverine after he cut through their ranks like clay in their last meeting. Logan, of course, puts up a fight, but Leland walks in and starts doubling his mass each second until he shows no signs of life. The X-Men watch on a monitor as Wolverine dies. Amanda, though, smiles as we see some energy start to radiate from her. On the fringes of the Xavier estate, Stevie freaking Hunter pulls up with Kitty and the body of Emma Frost, wishing them luck and letting them know she was just happy to help when she was psychically summoned. Kitty and Emma run off into the woods just as Shaw and the body of Storm show up to find Stevie alone. What the fuck is Stevie Hunter even thinking about her own life at this point?
I know. She's like, oh yeah, I got a psychic ping to help Kitty. So I was like, yeah, absolutely.
And I showed up and it was just, it was a Storm in somebody else's body. I was a dance instructor. I just took on a student as a dance instructor.
Sebastian Shaw and Emma in Storm's body show up, and Sebastian knocks her car aside just with one hand, like tosses out of the way. You think he was just hitting himself all the way there to build up that strength?
Kitty and Aurora in Emma's body arrive at a secret back entrance to the mansion. After a rocky try, they're able to establish a psychic rapport and work together to gain entrance, just as Shaw and Emma in Storm's body begin to close in on them. Kitty starts phasing through walls to find the place crawling with Hellfire goons when a hand reaches out and covers her mouth to silence her. Wolverine's hand? He's okay! The narrator lets us know that Amanda Sefton was able to use her sorcery to just give him the appearance of death. Although Wolverine seems to think he's just that badass.
Yeah, he doesn't know what happened. He's just like, oh yeah, he survived.
Yeah, they stopped fighting me because I'm so cool.
Yeah.
They sneak into the room where the rest of the team is being held, and Kitty phases through everyone's collars to disable them. Leland, unable to think of anything cool to do with his powers, gets wrecked. He needs months to think of this.
He's just like, oh yeah, well, I'll make you all heavier. And Colossus is like, I'm already pretty heavy, dude. I don't think there's much damage you can do with that.
Like, I'm literally fine, man. While Wolverine shows the guys that were specifically cybernetically enhanced to kill him that they're not good enough. There's a guy here named Cole, whose name we should remember.
Yes.
Instead of killing them, though, he lectures them on humanity and encourages them to be better.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. In burst Shaw and White Queen Storm, desperate to pull out a win here. They take out Shaw by just tossing him in the lake. Good strategy. While Kitty and Logan explain the whole deal with Emma and Ororo. Emma as Ororo tries to fight using the elements, but quickly loses control of the storm she's built. Ororo as Emma brute forces her way into Emma's mind and guides her into calming the storm, while also stealing the Persona exchange gun that started this whole mess. We see Emma plummeting to the ground. The X-Men all too far from her to save her. Is this actually Emma finally defeated? Or is the storm in Emma's mind about to die? We get our answer when Storm flies down and saves Emma from hitting the ground. When Emma tries to go back on the offensive, though, Ororo is ready to break her vow to never kill until Wolverine breaks out another lecture on humanity, convincing Storm to be merciful. Calling the cops would raise too many questions, and the Hellfire Club seems pretty remorseful, so the X-Men, they just let Emma and Shaw leave the
Oh my
end.
God. We just get another, I'm sure they've learned their lesson ending for some of the worst humans you've ever seen.
I know, right? Like, it made a little bit of sense with Magneto. Or at least it will in retrospect. Like, they're building what makes sense about it. It doesn't make fucking any sense here.
No. It's like, hey, why don't you guys go regroup? Try a different plan next time, okay?
Try to think of something to do with Harry's powers.
Yeah. Has he ever tried making people lighter?
Yeah, maybe he could make his fist heavier just as he's about to punch somebody. Like, there's things he could do, you guys. There's a Kurt report.
Yeah.
As soon as Kurt is free, he still thinks Wolverine's dead.
Oh yeah.
So he teleports over to Harry, just punches him right in the face, and he goes, "This is for Wolverine, swine."
Very good. Swine is such a good insult.
Yeah.
You swine. Couple things I got to say, Matt, that I didn't like here. I think that the use of inhibitor tech is really becoming a crutch. Like,
oh my God.
A pet peeve of mine is superheroes without their powers for extended periods of time. Like, I understand that once in a while you have to show force of will and the fact that they're not just their powers. So I can accept that once in a while they'll lose their powers. But
yeah,
it's like every other issue at this point, just to explain away the fact that they can escape a lot of situations. It's so instead of finding more complex ways to keep them trapped, you just put them in some sort of inhibitor device.
Yeah, you just take away their powers, and it's like, oh, that's the plot, right?
The other thing, much like not showing us Scott's beautiful, beautiful eyes, there's another missed opportunity here. Ororo is in Emma's body and learning to control psychic powers. The only thing we see her do is like simple communication stuff.
Summoning Stevie Hunter, pulling the kid from ROM to control her powers through Emma. No, she didn't. Oh. She was just explaining to Emma how to use the powers, right?
Yeah. She did. She established a psychic rapport and helped guide her through. But yeah, like instead, I mean, I imagine that probably takes years of training with your psychic powers, right. But there's still some things she was already capable of that I just would have loved to see.
Yeah.
It would be an interesting thing to explore.
I did want to call out, there was a funny thing in the last issue, still in this story, where, you know, like Chris Claremont's really good at writing Kitty being just a bratty teen sometimes. And like he's really good at writing her being a superhero. Like this decision to save Emma's body was like really putting her to the test, and it showed her as a hero. But in the first panel, or in the first issue, when she learns that she's got to leave the X-Men, she goes to her room and she's like grumpy.
Yeah.
And Storm comes in, tries to talk to her, and she's like, "I just want to be left alone." And Storm's like, "Okay, I understand." And she's like, "Well, I don't." And face is what do you mean? What do you mean you don't? You don't understand the thing that you just asked?
It's very hormonal teenager. Yeah,
just like what word can I say here? It doesn't matter if it makes sense.
Yeah, it's very good. And for as silly as this sort of is
Yeah.
the whole story here. I really like this ending. Like, if you're going to bring us a brain swap story, you almost have to end with, oh, which one is the one in danger? Are they back in their original bodies, or are they still switched? Like, is it our friend or our foe that we should help here? The way that they reveal it is by having Storm back in her body save Emma, because Emma in Storm's body would never have saved Storm. It's just a really good, like, Claremont doesn't feel like he has to explain it to you in words. He can show it, and it's really effective here.
Yeah.
So he's still doing the good stuff.
There's also 2 issues in a row, or 2 stories in a row, that Storm's like, I vowed never to kill, but I think I'll do it this time.
Yeah, she's building up to it. We're gonna see her kill a man.
It's just twice in a row.
Well,
also I think it helps explain why Emma leaves the X-Men alone. Right? Like, if there's the Hellfire Club and the Massachusetts Academy, and then there's the X-Men and the Xavier Institute, why do they so often leave each other alone? And I think this goes a little way to explain that.
Yeah.
Like, they're just scared of each other. You know what I mean? Like, anytime, because like, why don't they just come back tomorrow is, I guess, what I'm asking. So it's like,
right. It's too big of a fight on each side to say, like, yeah, let's risk everything and go after these guys.
Right. So they just both
usually.
Right. So they just both let each other exist, even though they're like mortal enemies and they have completely different goals.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Matt, are you ready to move on to something very serious?
Yeah, it says on the cover, and now for something completely different.
Yeah, it sure does. It
must be something non-silly.
Last issue of the episode, we're going to cover the iconic Uncanny X-Men number 153, Kitty's Fairy Tale.
Oh, wow.
Chris Claremont writer, Dave Cockrum and Joseph Rubinstein artists, Glynis Wein colorist, Tom Orzechowski letterer, Louise Jones editor, and John Schuper editor-in-chief. Hit the shelves October 13th, 1981. Cover date January 1982.
Whoa.
I know.
We're in 1982. Me and you are almost alive.
The X-Men are using their powers to clean up all the damage the Hellfire Club did to the mansion, while a depowered Carol Danvers tends to Storm, recovering the wounds Emma Frost incurred in her body.
I wonder, we got to find out about that. We got to find out about that Carol Danvers thing.
Yeah, what's going on with you, Carol?
What's going on there? This is, I'm goofing around, but it is sometimes tough to decide where we put certain issues in the order of the episodes. And we made a decision to hold off on Avengers Annual number 10, where we would get that answer. So we'll get there. We'll get there soon.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. But right now, Matt, I don't know. We're not covering the Avengers.
Okay.
Xavier stresses about the cost of all this repair. He's getting free labor from the X-Men, and he has the money. But he's stressing about the cost of all this when Kitty pops out, letting Peter know it's time to tuck in his little sister, Illyana.
Oh, she's got a little Fozzie Bear.
Very sweet that they're living with her, or that she's living with them after the fiasco. And yeah, a lot of Muppet references.
Yeah, it's weird. Muppet and Star Wars, an Elf Quest. Kitty's wearing an Elf Quest shirt.
Oh, yeah. You think that's Cockrum or Rubinstein that's tossing all these weird
That's a big fan
references
of. Yeah, I have no idea.
As Peter and Kitty adorably put Illyana to bed together, Illyana asks for a bedtime story, and off we go into Fantasyland. We open on a 2-page splash of a storybook opening as we're introduced to the cast. Kitty Pryde as Pirate Kitty, Peter Rasputin as Colossus, her true love, Scott Summers as the Noble Prince, Charles Xavier as the Wizard, Aurora as the Genie, Kurt Wagner as, under protest, a Bamf, Logan as the Fiend with no name, the SR-71 Blackbird as Lockheed the Dragon, Jean Grey as the Enchanted Princess.
You don't think it's awkward that she opens up with, like, I'm Kitty. Pirate Kitty, and her true love Colossus, with Colossus sitting right there.
Well, so we get to Kitty's our narrator here, and as soon as she has to introduce him as her true love, she says, "And Colossus, my true friend."
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's good. It's very cute.
Yeah.
So this is clearly a story that already exists in Kitty's head.
And they did kiss on the lips 2 issues ago, so.
They did. Yeah, we're in that same place that we were with Scott and Jean, where it's that Claremont ended up retconning, where it's just unclear what stage of a flirtation or relationship they're in.
Yeah.
Kitty, as our narrator, explains that Pirate Kitty and Colossus are Robin Hood-esque pirates for justice, helping the poor and needy in all their journeys. As they escape from their latest pursuers, they stumble across an old wizard and a young prince with laser eyes being robbed. In they swoop to kick some ass and make some friends, as the wizard introduces himself as Xavier and the prince as Cyclops. They explain that they're after Cyclops' beloved Princess Jean, who has recently transformed into an evil force called the Dark Phoenix.
Whoa.
She's so creative. Where's she pulling this story from? Just as they explain, the Dark Phoenix appears out of the sky, laying ruin to the harbor and attacking the fantasy X-Men, lording her immense power over them. She's scared off by an orb bearing an image that Wizard Xavier holds and threatens her with. Having a chance to regroup, Kitty summons her massive dragon, Lockheed, and vows to help Xavier and Cyclops defeat the Dark Phoenix.
So there's a couple interesting things going on here. First of all, the orb is... Obviously, it's the orb that Lilandra gave Jean's parents.
I have a theory on this when we get to the end of the issue.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so it's Jean's soul, her true self, in the orb. That's what Xavier says here. The implication to me was like, oh, Jean's goodness is more powerful than the Dark Phoenix's evilness.
Okay,
that's the implication here. I don't know if that'll hold up by the end. But also, the other interesting thing I think that's going on here is Kitty had just met Jean Grey when the Dark Phoenix shit happened, right?
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix, like Emma Frost, must be fucking terrifying to Kitty. Because like she just met this woman, didn't like have time to grow an affection for her. And she's trying to kill everybody and destroy the universe.
Yeah. Well, again, I have theories about this stuff once we get to the end, but she is clearly portraying Jean as somebody who's like drunk with power and loving the experience.
Yeah.
We cut back to the real world where we see that Kurt and Logan are standing outside the door, listening into the story and finding it way more entertaining than they expected to.
Very cute.
Back to the story, though, the team rides Kitty's dragon until it starts complaining about being tired, and they land to take a break on a remote island. As Pirate Kitty naps, a mysterious tiny blue gremlin sneaks up on her, and as she awakes, proposes that they make love. She's startled as the little blue creature teleports away and then reappears, fighting off several other little creatures like himself who are lusting after her even more aggressively. She won't give him a kiss, but because he fought off all the other bamfs, he's allowed to stick around. Kurt, of course, in the real world, overhears this from outside the door and is mortified.
It's like, what? That's how she sees Kurt, as a guy who wants to kiss her all the time.
Back to the story. Walking along the shore of this island, Colossus discovers a genie in a bottle that calls herself the Wind Rider, daughter of the gods of earth and air. She's been imprisoned in the bottle by a former friend who now goes by the Dark Phoenix. The Wind Rider returns with Colossus back to camp just in time to find a barbaric, violent little demon whirlwinding into camp looking for a fight. Clearly a Tasmanian devil.
They ask him who he is, and he says, "I'm mean."
He's belligerent, he loves beer, and he has retractable adamantium claws, and immediately gets into a fight with Colossus.
And he eats the beer. He eats the beer and then spits out the can. Yeah.
He's terrified of the dragon, though, and joins the team once he sees it. Back in the real world, it's Logan's turn to be mortified as the rest of the entire team plus Carol Danvers are now gathered behind the door to enjoy the story. They track down the Dark Phoenix and a goofy fight ensues. They fire blasts at each other back and forth. Wolverine and the Dragon bicker with each other. At one point, Storm casts a spell and gives everyone wings.
Yeah.
This all goes back and forth until Xavier whips the orb back out, which saps the Dark Phoenix out of Princess Jean, and she and Prince Cyclops live happily ever after. With Ileana asleep, Peter and Kitty step out of the room to see that the entire mansion was gathered around listening to her story. She's humiliated, but Scott thanks her for saving Jean in the story and gives her a sweet little kiss on the head. The end.
It's very cute. It
is
unbelievably cute.
It's an adorable little story. I think it is an incredible look at how Chris Claremont sees Kitty seeing the X-Men and everything that's happened since she joined them.
It's also worth noting, I want to hear that your interpretation, but it's also worth noting this is how he wanted the Dark Phoenix saga to end, right? Jean to lose her powers and her and Scott to go off together. And this is like his chance to write that. You know,
that's really interesting. Yeah, that is his, a very abbreviated version, but ultimately they talk her down and she gives up her powers.
Yeah.
I think what's happening here is that real Kitty, is very confused about what that hollow orb is.
The hollow empathic crystal.
The hollow empathic crystal.
I can't believe I knew the name of that. Holy shit. This podcast is wrecking my brain.
I think that Kitty, having not firsthand witnessed what actually killed Jean, just knowing that Jean as the Dark Phoenix was there, and then Jean as the Dark Phoenix was gone, but there's this orb that looks and smells and feels like her. I think she just thinks that orb has Jean inside of it. She's confused on what that thing is, but it seems like it solved all the problems here. They just trapped her in some sort of crystal.
Okay. You also have interpretations of what this means, like how Kitty sees everybody.
Yeah, I think it's very so we talked about how Jean and her portrayal is really interesting. She's sneering at and mocking everyone else's lack of power. There's no struggle within her because she's just enjoying every moment of it, which makes sense from her perspective, right? She knew Jean briefly as somebody who was sometimes Jean Grey, but sometimes the Dark Phoenix poking through, and
really
had
briefly.
Good reason to be scared of her. Yeah.
Really briefly, maybe a couple days or weeks, very briefly.
Right. And then she's just the Dark Phoenix and she's tearing the team apart.
Yeah.
Peter is suave. He's handsome. He's sweet. He's dressed like he's on the cover of a romance novel. He is just an outcast fighting for the greater good, right? The professor is a wise old wizard. Scott is a diplomat, a leader. She sees him as a form of royalty. The Jet, Lockheed, the dragon, actually seems to be part Banshee, I think. He's an Irish smartass who claims to be retired but keeps hopping into action. Storm is a benevolent demigod and also seeks Jean for revenge, not to save her, which I think is an interesting look at it.
What does that tell us about?
I think
why
that's
would you think that?
Kitty's coping with somebody being friends with a force she only knows as evil.
Right.
Is Wolverine, of course, is basically the Tasmanian devil. He just also drinks beer.
He's a friendly but violent force of chaos that she is kind to her, but is clearly what the fuck is this guy?
Right. And then Kurt is overly friendly and too forward about his sexuality, and he smells bad, which really sums up what Kitty has felt about Kurt so far. And he's a funny looking little gremlin.
Yeah, little goofball. So I wonder if there's some aspect of Wolverine at this point that is supposed to be comic relief.
I think that this
Like, if is this Claremont kind of telling us that on some level he feels that Wolverine's got a comic relief angle to him, and like when a scene is tense, you have Wolverine just be mean to somebody, or
I think what he finds funny here is when somebody new encounters Wolverine. Like, that's what's funny, which is fairly funny when you see a guy face to face with Wolverine for the first time and just scared shitless, and Wolverine's saying something to make it that much worse. Like, yeah, your first impression of Wolverine is going to be this chaos demon.
Yeah. So that ending was weird. It's rare you see Cyclops being tender.
Yeah.
And he was being very tender, but it also made me remember, where the fuck is Lee Forrester?
Oh yeah, what they do was I mean, she's got a funeral to throw for her father still, right? She's been away from her fishing or her boat business for some time at this point.
No, so there was a time between when her father died and when the Arcadia sunk.
Yeah.
So
she's got a business to run.
She's got a business to, she's probably back on her ship. She's like, captains have to you have to take it back over. If you
Un-mutiny.
Yeah, if you get thrown off your ship, somebody else becomes the captain and you have to come back and fight that guy. I think that's
I don't know much about
ship law. That's a
maritime
law.
Okay. That's all the issues today, Matt.
Wow. What do you think?
This feels like a transition phase to me.
Okay.
We set up Magneto. We do get, I think it's a very cool fight with Magneto. It's essentially 3 issues because one of them is double-sized, and it's a really good arc for him. But I think that there's just there are too many common themes from comic to comic these days. It seems like they are falling back on old formulas for comics just so they can start setting up here's a more tragic backstory for Magneto. Clearly we're going to see him come back around, or some consequence from that come around. Here's what the Hellfire Club has been doing since they weren't defeated. My expectation is that, maybe they will be a little more active after some recovery period. And you're just kind of solidifying the team here and their personalities. Seems like they're building up to something, and we're just kind of right now stuck in the construction phase.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the Garrock thing, I can't explain why he chose that at all.
That's bizarre.
I guess it was just more of I wanted people to see Kitty as a hero. Like that, I guess that's what that was. But the Magneto thing is really, I think that's just a really important issue, and it's really setting up, like I said before, it's setting up so much about what he wants the X-Men to be, right? How does he see Magneto? How does he see the X-Men's mission? What is important and unique about this series? And then it's really hard to tell, I think, what drove his decision to do the body swap issue.
Yeah, because it all wraps up so neatly. Everything is right back to where it was.
Yeah.
After it's over. Stevie Hunter's car, she probably needs a new car.
It's almost it's almost like he was thinking he needed to do something important with Emma Frost. He wanted to bring more depth to Emma Frost, but he doesn't really. I don't feel anything deeper about Emma Frost after that.
Yeah, maybe it'll have an impact next time we see her.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That those 2 issues seem very weird. And then the Kitty's Fairy Tale issue, I think, is perfectly timed.
Yeah, I think it's great for just it's a one shot, right?
Yeah.
It's just a good way to take a breath from everything.
Yeah, and I think you're right. It feels like he's building up to some kind of epic here. It feels like this is sort of everybody breathe in, because we've got a place to go.
Yeah.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's at Deals and Steals.
Hey!
Yeah, it's our last remaining segment here on the episode, folks. Pat Steals and Deals today has a maybe mild content warning for some outdated language.
Oh no, okay.
This is the Tootsie Roll Pop Indian legend.
Oh,
we have
no.
a little comic strip, if you remember a time when Tootsie Roll Pops came with a Native American stereotype silhouette on each wrapper.
Yeah.
We have a little one-page comic where a few kids are talking to each other. One of them is wearing a lot of Tootsie Roll merchandise. The two eating Tootsie Pops say to the one wearing Tootsie clothing, "Hey, did you get those neat things from Tootsie Roll?" And he answers, "Yeah, and I got the answer to the Indian wrapper legend too. Send in for any of these neat Tootsie Roll things and get the full story on the Indian wrapper too."
There's also a new kid.
Yeah, a third kid
just
shows
appears.
up. He's interested
Third
in the
kid
story.
just is there.
He goes on to show us all of the different items he has. We have a Tootsie Roll pencil case. It just looks like a big Tootsie Roll, but you can unzip it and put your pencils in it.
Huh.
Tootsie Roll, they call it a toque, which I looked it up is a term for a hat. It represents a few different types of hats, but that does include the beanies with a big fuzzy ball on the top.
I just pronounced it toque.
Toque? Yeah, sure, maybe.
Toque. Yeah.
This looks like a cool hat, though.
Tootsie
it says
Toque.
Tootsie Toque on it.
Tootsie Toque.
A t-shirt that's with a big picture of a Tootsie Roll that says Toot Toot Tootsie Hello. And then, a big beach towel with a big old Tootsie Roll on it.
Was that like some ad campaign? Toot Toot Tootsie Hello?
I don't know. I don't know, Matt. We're not following Tootsie Roll.
This pencil case reminds me, I had a Tootsie Roll, like piggy bank kind of thing. It was like big cardboard Tootsie Roll. It's sealed on either end with plastic. It came with Tootsie Rolls in it, but once you ate all the Tootsie Rolls, there was a little slot for you to put pennies or coins or whatever in, and you could save up your money in a big Tootsie Roll.
Interesting.
How much are these? How much do these cost?
So the pencil case is only $1, which in today's money would come out to about $3.56.
I could see a pencil case costing that much.
The hat, the nice hat, comes out to $3.48 plus postage. So about $12.39.40 in today's money. That's not a bad price
not a bad price for a
hat.
Tootsie
T-shirt goes for $3.99, so a little more than the hat, which I don't know. I guess you could. That's fair, but it still only comes out to about $14.20. And then finally, the beach towel. Beach towel comes out to $5.99. A little more expensive. It seems like it's fairly good quality. It's got little fringe ends on it. Comes out to a little over $21 in today's money.
$21 for a beach towel. I don't. That's the only one that seems completely batshit.
Yeah, that seems a little crazy because it's not like a big spreadable beach towel. It's like a one-person beach towel.
Yeah.
But you also do get the secret of the Native American wrapper too.
Oh, so if you buy any of these, you get the
secret.
The secret. Okay. Well, how much would you pay for just the secret, I guess is the question. If you couldn't Google it, if you were in 1981, you were like, damn, I really want to know. And somebody was like, all right, give me $1 and I'll tell you. Would you do it?
No. Do I have to send it in and wait for them to send it back?
So yeah, okay. So that would affect it for you. Because by the time it comes back, you don't care anymore. You're over it.
It seems like too much work.
But you're saying, so if it was just, hey, give me $1, I'll tell you the secret, you would do it?
Yeah, I just might. Because now I got to know.
Did you find it? Did you Google it?
No. But they did eventually replace it with just a star, which is what I do remember from my childhood, right? It's if you find Tootsie Pop with a star on it, it means you got like a special one. I think there was a rumor that you could redeem it for free candy, but that's not true. But apparently the man was named Chief Shooting Star. So when they got a little more politically correct, they just replaced it with a star.
Huh.
Yeah.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's at Deals and Seals.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode, Matt. Don't, if you're listening, don't forget to please continue listening to our next episode or past episodes if you haven't. If you're going along and you happen to rate the podcast, leave a comment, like us on some sort of platform, subscribe to us on any other sort of platform. All of that helps us a huge amount, so it's appreciated.
We've got some interesting stuff coming up in the next episode. We're not covering Uncanny X-Men. We are once again chasing the X-Men through all the other things they appeared in at this time. And then, like, from all these episodes are going to be good, but from like 35 to 40, we've got some fucking bangers, like crazy X-Men shit happens. So stick around, folks.
Yeah. Keep tuning in. Same bat time, same bat channel. Big thanks as always to Krills Wilson for most of our music and to Julia Selly for providing the voice of Trish Tilby.
You can check out our Instagram at Mutant Menace Pod on Instagram. You can check out our Discord. There'll be a link in the show notes. A lot of cool discussions there in that Discord. A lot of our regular emails are in there fucking around. It's it's super fun.
It is a blast. And if you want to be on Pat's email corner, email mutantmenacepod@gmail.com.
That to me, Pat, that's everything except for.
Yeah, Matt, why don't you take us out on the line we say at the end of every episode?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. As always, I'm a Bamf and you're a girl.
And remember, as cliche as it sounds, the first step is a real Lulu.